Hello and welcome to an new video, and today we see that Victoria 3 released new DLC, EP. This time the update and DLC focus all around the East India Trading Company and India in general. This is the fourth time Great Britain has refused to get an update. While Great Britain is starving for content, we have France, South America for some fucking reason, Afghanistan and now India getting updates. Instead of, I don't know, the greatest power during the time period. The update mainly makes the map more historically accurate, while also adding 4 more annoyances that the East India Trading Company has to deal with. And yes, they are nothing but annoyances because you need this land in order to consolidate colonial rule, and in order to get this land you have to get colonialism, and in order to get colonialism you have to enact the law, which you can do right from the start. So you better do this, or you are fucked. In presumably this update, Texas was granted a new color. Look at it go. And Prussia's borders are still historically inaccurate. Right now, I would like to pull back a little and explain exactly how shit this is. The reason this change was made is because the Prussian AI couldn't figure out how to move one army from one side to the other. So instead of fixing their fucking army system, they decided to fix history. If this is not the epitome of all of this game, then I don't know what is. Instead of fixing the actual problem we're dealing with, we create more problems to do a band-aid fix instead. Because go fuck yourself. Nevertheless, with the update, a lot of new laws are now in play. One of these new laws is the extraction economy that India starts with. And India also has a caste system. A system exclusive to India. Meaning now, instead of having one law too many, we have one law too few. Unless of course you're any other country, in which case you still have one law too many. This DLC reworked the entire Raj system, meaning that now it's no longer a timer that'll run out, it is instead a stability meter, or 3 stability meters. There's also a new subject type being a chartered company, which is what India starts as. It acts the same as a puppet. So technically, this is a downgrade for India. The UI was also inexplicably changed a fucking gannet's worth. And here is where I go out of this monotone voice. Who the fuck did this? Genuinely. I know for a fact that no fucking higher up went here and said, hey, how about we, instead of doing it all in one button, we instead have a drop-down menu where you have to then decide urban rule or development. Why? Who thought this was a good idea? It's genuinely the worst fucking update I've ever seen. It's literally the same as these fucking updates they did to the interaction menu. Instead of just being able to press a single button, I have to instead press 2 buttons before the third one where I can finally press the button. Why did they make this change? Who decided that this was a good idea? And why is it every time I come back to this game is the UI worse? Like, who the fuck did they hire to make this? At this point, it just feels like there's someone on the team who fucking hates this game and wants it to fucking fail. Because I cannot fathom anyone thinking that this is a good UI. There's gotta be someone sabotaging behind the scenes. Because there's no way this is not a joke. This feels like someone went up to the UI meeting and made a joke about replicating the VIC-2 charts, and someone said that's a good idea, and now we're stuck with census data. Nevertheless, within the East India Company is the East India Company, which is a company in the East India Company. What the fuck? I can also get other companies within my company. I guess that's law-friendly. Anyways, I've already played an India game, and the system doesn't warn you, like, anytime you have troubles, so the best thing to do is just yes, and suddenly the average monthly progress is 0, so you know it isn't dying anymore. You love to see it. They've also reworked how the doctrine of lapse goes. Instead of doing it like you usually do it with journals and a decision here, you have to click on a subject that you want to annex, and then you're like, hey, overload actions, invoke doctrine of lapse, and then he's like, bye. And he's dead now. And with his demise, you have to still incorporate the fucking territory. There's also a new starvation mechanic. Instead of being a broken journal entry, they actually programmed something of worth into the video game. We have 7 ongoing famines, and the way we deal with them is of course with market access and actually getting food to our people. And fun fact, 2 of the islands that India starts with start fucking isolated. It's actually a genius game design decision, because when you don't build a port long enough, they will become radical, and if they're too radical, it'll take more time to build the port. So you have to build the port immediately, otherwise the people will become too radical, and if they're too radical, it will come years to build. It's great game design. There's also new mechanics about Britain sending you a thing to do. This can be things like Britain asking you to make more opium plantations, and then you do it, and that's fine. Other than that, this update does nothing to the broken army system. It also makes the UI actively worse in ways that I did not know were possible, and is overall very boring to play. I played one campaign and wanted to kill myself after an hour of absolutely nothing. And before you type an angry comment about how I'm wrong, this is my opinion, fuck off. You can't force me to enjoy a shit game. If I wanted to play shit so badly, I would open up the investigation series. For now, my review is still very accurate, and I will continue to make these videos every single update if the game doesn't get better. And I highly doubt it will. So, cue the clown.